Good morning and welcome to day 8 of the Circle It Prayer Challenge. My thought for today comes from Acts chapter 27. Paul has been out on the Mediterranean Sea when he writes this. There's a storm, a gale force winds. They feel they're going to capsize. They're throwing their cargo overboard. They're afraid. And in the midst of the storm, it says in verse 29, Acts 27, fearing that they would be dashed against the rocks, they dropped 4 anchors from the stern and prayed. I love that little phrase. They dropped 4 anchors and they prayed. What anchors stabilize you in the storm? Can I suggest 4 anchors that Jesus built his life upon? In Acts chapter 2 and verse 52, it says, "And Jesus grew in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man." The 4 things Jesus did. He grew in wisdom. He'd ask, what's the wise thing to do? He'd gather the information and he'd choose the wise path. The second thing, it says, and he grew in stature, physically. Make sure you have the proper rest and exercise and diet. You need to be as healthy as possible in the midst of the storm. The third thing he says, and in favor with God. You want to make sure you're tracking well with God. Jesus made regular time with God as a priority in his life. And the fourth thing, it says, and in favor with man. He needed to have good social networks, good connections, relationships. We were built for community. And so he made sure he had a strong social network in the midst of the storm. These 4 anchors are what Jesus built his life upon. And I'd like to suggest they're things you need to build your life upon in the midst of this COVID-19 storm. Oh, and the most important thing, they dropped 4 anchors, and then what did he do? It says they dropped 4 anchors and prayed. The most important thing, take the time to pray.